Have you ever felt like life is just a little bit weird? Like you've fallen down a rabbit hole into a world where nothing makes sense? Well, today we're going to talk about a girl who literally did just that. Her name is Alice, and her story is one of the most fantastic tales ever told, a journey into a place called Wonderland. Let's set the scene. It's a lazy golden afternoon. Alice, a girl with a boundless imagination and an insatiable curiosity, is sitting under a tree, maybe feeling a little bored with her everyday life. Something extraordinary happens. A white rabbit dressed in a waistcoat and clutching a pocket watch scurries past, frantically muttering, oh dear, I shall be too late." Now, most of us might just blink and think we imagined it. But not Alice. Her curiosity is her superpower. Without a second thought, she jumps up and follows the rabbit across the field, just in time to see him pop down a large rabbit hole under a hedge. And what does Alice do? She follows him right in, tumbling down into the unknown. This isn't just any rabbit hole. It's a vertical tunnel lined with cupboards and bookshelves, maps and pictures. The fall seems to last forever, giving Alice plenty of time to wonder what on earth is going to happen next. This descent is the perfect metaphor for those moments in our own lives when we take a leap of faith, stepping into a new job, a new city, or a new relationship with no idea where we'll land. Finally, thump! Alice lands in a long hall with doors of all sizes. On a small three-legged table, she finds a tiny golden key. It fits into the smallest door, behind which lies the most beautiful garden she has ever seen. But she's too big to get through. Then she spots a little bottle on the table labeled "Drink Me." Being the adventurous soul she is, she takes a sip. And just like that, she begins to shrink, smaller and smaller, until she's the right size for the door. But wait! She's left the key on the table, now miles above her head. This is Alice's first real taste of the logic of Wonderland, which is to say, there is no logic at all. It's a place of constant contradiction and absurdity. Just as she's crying in frustration, she sees a small cake with the words "Eat me" on it. She takes a bite and shoots up like a telescope, growing so tall her head hits the ceiling. Now she can reach the key, but she's too big for the door again. Through a series of bizarre events involving a pool of her own tears and a group of talking animals, Alice finally finds her way into the magical world she saw through the keyhole. And this is where things get truly strange. Wonderland isn't just a place. It's a state of mind. It's a world turned upside down, where the rules of reality simply don't apply. One of the first significant characters she meets is the Cheshire Cat, famous for its mischievous, lingering grin. The cat appears and disappears at will, offering cryptic advice. When Alice asks for directions, the cat tells her that it doesn't matter which way she goes, because everyone in Wonderland is mad. "I'm mad. You're mad," it says. "You must be, or you wouldn't have come here." This is a profound moment. Alice is forced to confront the idea that maybe, to navigate this chaos, she needs to embrace a little bit of madness herself. She has to let go of her preconceived notions of how things should be. Her journey continues, and she stumbles upon one of the most iconic scenes in literature, a mad tea party. Here, she meets the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, and a sleepy dormouse. They are trapped in a perpetual tea time, celebrating an unbirthday. Their conversation is a whirlwind of riddles without answers, nonsensical poetry, and abrupt changes of subject. They're rude, illogical, and utterly baffling. For Alice, who comes from a world of manners and order, this is incredibly frustrating. She tries to reason with them, to find some logic in their chaos, but it's impossible. The tea party is a perfect illustration of those times when we try to communicate with people who are on a completely different wavelength. It teaches Alice an important lesson. Sometimes you can't force your logic onto a situation that has none. You just have to experience it and then move on. Leaving the tea party more confused than ever, Alice continues her journey, wanting nothing more than to find her way home. But Wonderland is a labyrinth. Every path leads to more confusion. She meets talking flowers who insult her, a caterpillar smoking a hookah who quizzes her on her identity, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, two brothers who speak in rhymes and contradictions. Through all these encounters, a central theme emerges, the question of identity. The caterpillar asks her, "Who are you?" And Alice finds she can't answer. After all the shrinking and growing and bizarre conversations, she's not sure who she is anymore. She's not the same girl who was sitting under the tree. This is something we all go through Life's experiences change us, and sometimes we have to pause and rediscover who we've become. Alice's journey is a quest for self-discovery in the most confusing environment imaginable. Eventually, Alice finds her way to the court of the Queen of Hearts. The Queen is a tyrant, a brute who rules through fear. Her solution to every problem, big or small, is a bellowing cry of, "Off with their heads." She represents arbitrary power and irrational anger. The entire kingdom, made of living playing cards, trembles before her. Here, Alice is confronted with the ultimate test of her courage. She's called to be a witness in a ridiculous trial for the Knave of Hearts, who is accused of stealing the Queen's tarts. The evidence is nonsensical, the witnesses are useless, and the verdict is a foregone conclusion. But something inside Alice has shifted. She's no longer the timid girl who is afraid of this strange world. As the trial unfolds, Alice starts to grow, physically, back to her normal size. With her height comes a newfound confidence. She's had enough of this nonsense. She stands up to the Queen, calling the trial and everyone in it nothing but a pack of cards. She's not afraid anymore. She sees the absurdity for what it is and refuses to be intimidated by it. In that moment of defiance, the Queen screams her famous line, "Off with her head." And the whole deck of cards rises up and flies at Alice. It's a terrifying climax. But just as they're about to overwhelm her, she wakes up. She's back under the tree, her head in her sister's lap. The rustling leaves above her were the cards, the clinking teacups were the mad tea party. It was all a dream, a vivid, wild, and incredibly meaningful dream. So, what's the takeaway from Alice's bizarre adventure? The lesson is woven through every strange encounter and confusing conversation. Life can often feel like Wonderland. It can be illogical, frustrating, and full of people who don't make sense. We can feel small and powerless one moment, and too big and out of place the next. We can lose sight of who we are. But Alice's story teaches us how to navigate that chaos. First, stay curious. It was Alice's curiosity that led her to adventure. It's the engine of growth and discovery. Without it, we remain bored under our own trees. Second, be courageous. Alice faced down talking cats, mad hatters, and a screaming queen. She learned to speak her mind and stand up for what she believed was right, even when she was scared. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. And finally, trust yourself. In a world where nothing made sense, Alice had to rely on her own judgment and her own inner sense of self. Even when she questioned her identity, she kept moving forward, trying to make sense of things for herself. She learned that she was more capable and resilient than she ever imagined. Her dream of Wonderland was a journey into her own subconscious, a training ground for the challenges of growing up. It taught her that even when the world seems completely mad, a combination of curiosity, courage, and self-belief can help you find your way. You are the hero of your own story, and you have the strength to face any pack of cards that life throws at you. So the next time you feel like you've fallen down a rabbit hole, remember Alice. Embrace the weirdness, ask questions, be brave, and trust that you have what it takes to find your path. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Wonderland, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that make us think. See you in the next video.